boiling rivalry renewed tonight at the Garden. Knicks, Pacers, again. We'll tell you which team will win and why. Plus, wait a minute. Did you hear what they said in Philadelphia yesterday about, of all teams, the Cowboys? The question is, were they right? We've got the answer as we get up with you starting right now. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, J.B. Bickerstaff, head coach of the Pistons, has made his way in.
Ready to go.
Going to break down film. Great to have you here. Graziano ready. We got football conversation. The Windman is up early in OKC today. Redick is ready for some stuff today as we get rolling on this morning. It begins, as it must, in Oklahoma City. Game 1, Western Conference Finals. The Timberwolves and Ant-Man facing that man, the presumptive MVP. He's SGA. Early on, look at this, Coach. We got Anthony Edwards chucking the ball at SGA. What's going on here?
You got to love it. You love the playoffs. You love the chippiness, the competition. That's what it's all about.
Early technical. Then Minnesota looking good in that first half, particularly Julius Randle. He knocked down 5 threes, Coach, in the first half.
Yeah, that's what's going to be there for him. The kick-out threes are going to be there the way that they want to swarm the paint. You get those kick-out threes, you got to knock them down.
They would take 51 threes in all. Anthony Edwards made that one. He didn't make many more. Timberwolves would lead by as many as 9. It's a 4-point game at halftime, and then the third quarter happened. OKC dominant. Look at Jalen Williams getting it done.
Yeah, he was great last night. I thought that Thunder did a great job in the second half of going to smaller lineups, putting Chet Holmgren at the 5, creating more space and giving guys room to work.
And now here we are staying with the play. We're turning defense into offense. It's SGA working his way up. It was a 32-18 quarter in favor of the home team. This is the very next possession. More from SGA, just probing Thunder a 4-point lead. And then he continues in the mid-range. SGA would score or assist on 20 points in the third quarter. The Timberwolves as a team had 18. It's OKC by 10 going to the fourth. Now it's a 9-point game. You mentioned Chet Holmgren taking advantage inside. He would score 15. Thunder up 11. It's more from SGA. Plus the foul. He had 31 points, 9 assists, 3 steals. OKC up 14. Meanwhile, frustration on the other. Oh, let's throw one up and throw it down. Jalen Williams, a little fun on the alley-oop. And the Thunder take game 1 handily, 114-88. The frustration for that man, Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man taking just 13 shots in this game 1. He was contained to the perimeter. His average shot distance was over 25 feet from the basket, which was by a wide margin the longest in any game in his NBA career, regular season or playoffs, by a margin of 2 feet. Here was Ant-Man after the game.
I definitely got to shoot more. I only took 13 shots. They remind me of like an AAU defensive team, just run and jump, fly around. So it was pretty good. Good to get it out of our system in game 1. So we'll be ready for game 2. We should be ready.
That'll be tomorrow night. Let's dive in here. We'll get to the Windman in a second. But first, Coach, the first thing I said to you, we heard that sound this morning. And we said, what does that mean? When he says they're playing AAU-style defense, we put together some tape of what they were doing to him in the paint last night.
Yeah, when you go and watch AAU basketball, it's a bunch of full-court press. It's a bunch of trapping. It's a bunch of smothering the basketball and your best defender or your best offensive player to get the ball out of his hands. You take a look at the film here, how many bodies there are guarding Ant Edwards when he's in isolation situations. Something different that the Thunder do is they bring their guy from the strong side corner, and they don't mind giving up those contested corner threes, but he never played a one-on-one game last night where he's so elite. Everything was 1-on-3, 1-on-4 with all eyes on him.
Outstanding. So, Windman, you were there in the arena. What did you see as far as OKC's defense against Anthony Edwards, who we talked about coming into this series as the man who should define it?
Yeah, so throughout the night, the Thunder players were all over him on the perimeter. And you can prepare for the Thunder defense. You can go over it and film. But until you actually see it, it can be a little bit disorienting. And throughout the game, his Ant Edwards' teammates were encouraging him, look to drive, look to drive. They're sitting on your right, go left. He just couldn't do it. When you face Alex Caruso, when you face Lou Dort, when you face Cason Wallace, and you see those guys fight over those screens, and you don't get the space you normally get, you could tell Ant was a little bit uncomfortable. He only took 1 shot at the rim in this game. That is unheard of for him. The Thunder's defense scored 31 points off of turnovers. You're not going to beat them like that, especially when Ant is not having a prolific offensive game.
Look, if anyone who didn't follow OKC closely all year, I continue to say this. Look at the final defensive statistics in the NBA season. And it literally, number one in every meaningful category is the Thunder. And so here are the numbers. Minnesota took 51 threes last night. That is their most in a playoff game in franchise history by a wide margin. Just 13 shots for Anthony Edwards. So we sometimes will do a thing here. We call it bad game or bad sign. Did you think last night was just a bad game for Ant-Man and for the Timberwolves, or was it a bad sign of things to come?
I think it was a bad game. This is that feeling out, chess match, punch, counter punch situation. Now, if the same thing happens in game two, then you got some things to worry about. But I think what they felt is how the Thunder wanted to defend them. And like Wendy said, you can't emulate that in practice in the time off. You have to go against it. They're going to have to make some of those shots. The way that the Thunder defend, they crowd the paint. When the kickout's there, you got to trust your teammates, trust your work. But you got to be able to knock down some of those open shots to hopefully extend the defense, and then that gives Ant Edwards opportunities to drive the ball.
Cindy, if we can, throw up a 40, please. ESPN Bet loves the Thunder. They loved them all year long. They love them even more now after taking a 1-0 lead with a commanding second-half performance last night. The Thunder are now minus 700 to win this series at ESPN Bet Sportsbook, and they are favored by 7.5 points in Game 2. Same question to you, Windman, through your eyes, and you've seen as much playoff basketball as anybody the last 2 decades. Did it feel in the arena like a bad game or a bad sign for Minnesota?
Well, the Timberwolves generated almost 50 open three-pointers. I think about 47 of their outside threes were deemed open, and they only hit 11 of them. So around 26, 28%. If you figure you're going to generate that many open looks, that you're going to make some more of them. So I think if you're the Wolves, you're saying, look, we were able to generate open shots. We just didn't hit them. In fact, they shot a better percentage on contested threes than they did open threes. So I think they look to drive a little bit more, get Ant some more at the rim, and expect their bench. Their bench was really the strength of their team. Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, Nickeil Alexander-Walker were horrible shooting the ball in this game. So you're hoping for that to improve. Because if they don't, you're not going to be able to compete with the Thunder in those transition opportunities.
Naz Reid, 1 of 11 last night, 0 of 7 from 3. DiVincenzo, 3 of 14 last night, 3 of 12 from 3. Uncharacteristic. Game 1 goes to OKC in a big way. Boiling rivalry renewed tonight at the Garden. Knicks, Pacers, again. We'll tell you which team will win and why. Plus, wait a minute. Did you hear what they said in Philadelphia yesterday about, of all teams, the Cowboys? The question is, were they right? We've got the answer as we get up with you starting right now. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, J.B. Bickerstaff, head coach of the Pistons, has made his way in.
Ready to go.
Going to break down film. Great to have you here. Graziano ready. We got football conversation. The Windman is up early in OKC today. Louis Redick is ready for some stuff today as we get rolling on this morning. It begins, as it must, in Oklahoma City. Game 1, Western Conference Finals. The Timberwolves and Ant-Man facing that man, the presumptive MVP. He's SGA. Early on, look at this, Coach. We got Anthony Edwards chucking the ball at SGA. What's going on here?
You got to love it. You love the playoffs. You love the chippiness, the competition. That's what it's all about.
Early technical. Then Minnesota looking good in that first half, particularly Julius Randle. He knocked down 5 threes, Coach, in the first half.
Yeah, that's what's going to be there for him. The kick-out threes are going to be there the way that they want to swarm the paint. You get those kick-out threes, you got to knock them down.
They would take